Hello. If you're looking to get a better understanding of the health of the Oracle Cloud job market, then this is the video for you. Panamere works with over 100 recruiting firms to staff U.S. and non-U.S. workers on U.S. clients and contracts. In this video, we're going to walk through the top 10 job metrics for the month of June 2022. So let's get started. First, let's take a look at the metrics. We'll look at new jobs and hot skills, then job growth over time, then job growth over time but subdivided by what Oracle calls its pillars, so high-level groupings of software. We'll look at new jobs by role, by location, by contract type, and by recruiter with the top 15 recruiters. And then lastly, I'll show you where you can go to see the details, meaning all the different individual jobs that we use to make up this report. Slide 1, new jobs and hot skills. So you can see a dramatic fall in jobs, right? If you look bottom left of this slide, it says last month there were 115 jobs. On average, so far this year, we've had 100 jobs per month, new jobs. So those are new requests for people to do work. And this month we got 35, so that's a pretty dramatic fall. If you look to the image on the right, you'll see the distribution based on skill. So on the hard right of that image, vertically, oriented, you'll see tech specific, cross application, application specific, right? So that's like technology, project roles, and functional roles. And then all of the different words, so security specialist, reports extracts, integration developer, those are the different skills under the technology role type. And then obviously there's just a line chart to tell you how many and a number. Next up, job growth over time. So this again illustrates a pretty dramatic fall. In January, we started with 157, and we had a couple months under 100. We went back to 111, 135. And then jobs just fell off really had a dramatic decrease, if you will, and so down to 35. Now, if we look at those 35 jobs, but we look at them based on their pillar, we'll see a couple things that are interesting. One, you'll see that there are no EPM jobs and there were no CX jobs or new job requests or expert requests, however you want to term that. Job recs usually is what we call them. But we didn't have any for those two skills or applications. We did get 14, 10, and 11. So those are down from the prior month, obviously. Now, if we go to the next slide, we look at the distribution by pillar and by role. So similar to that last slide, you look at the image on the left, it gives you, again, just in a pie chart visual format about how those jobs are distributed based on pillars. What's interesting also, and I'm going to go back for just a second, is if you'll notice, the dark blue is supply chain. Started 54, then we went down 22.18, but up to 32.53, and then down to 11. So what we're really illustrating here is 11 is a pretty big drop in the supply chain pillar of new job requests. If you look at the pie chart on the right, this just gives you jobs by skill type, or what we'll call role. And so application specific is like functional, cross application are like project roles, so program director, PM, tester, support specialist. And then you have technology specific, or what they'll call technical roles. And so it just gives you the distribution of those. Slide number 5, jobs by location. So really, if you look at the pie chart on the left, you can see all the different locations for each of the job recs. Now, what we're really trying to illustrate here is obviously we're not giving jobs by state, and I don't know how much value that really has. But what does has value is how many of the total jobs were remote. And so you see that the remote percentage is tracked here at the image on the right. So we were at 84%, right? And the closer that we get back to COVID, the higher we would expect the percentage of jobs to be remote. And then we start to see them fall. We see a spike back up in April to 83%. Then back down to 67, up to 69. So we're just tracking, trying to get a feel for, are we going to go back to what we'll call a more traditional consulting model where the consultants go on site, or are we going to stay remote? So that's really what this slide will be designed to do. Slide number 6, jobs by contract type and recruiter. So on the left, you see the different contract types. So corporate corp and W-2 or FTE, full-time equivalent, or sometimes you'll see it also called contract to hire. Even though that's a contract, really the intent is a teaser rate or kind of a mutual checking out period, you, them, you, if you will, before you go to employment. So we lump that in with employment. And now underneath that, you see the percentage of jobs by contract. So similar to what we did with remote, we also want to know how many of the jobs are contract. Contract jobs usually denote a healthier economy where the skills are needed more quickly. And so rapidity creates contract work. And so if the economy slows down, we would expect to see the jobs by contract percentage fall. So we're currently at 77%. So that means out of all the jobs, 77% of those, are to be engaged by contract, or 7% of those resources. All right, on the right, we take the top 10 recruiting firms and we just lay out the number of jobs or job recs that came from each of those in the current month. And so that's what you see here. All right, so lastly, did you know that you could see all of the different job requests that make up this report? It's easy, it's free, and it's actually super easy. You can either go to this URL that you see here on this screen, or you can go to panamere.com, and as you see in the image in the background, there's a red ellipse under the work menu option. Just select that, and then the first option will say Oracle Cloud Jobs. You can select that, okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to email us at feedback@panamere.com. And more importantly, if you want to sign up for job alerts, so that's an auto notification email service, email us at jobalerts@panamere.com. Okay, so that's it for this presentation, but hopefully just the beginning of your Panamere journey. There are thousands of free videos, jobs, and experts just waiting for you at panamere.com. Remember, better content, better skills, better income, better life. Panamere wants to help you get 1% better every day. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.